This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
You could tell, Nigel, that the fatigue and issue for Hologram, he was not fully committed to that pinfall attempt.
Certainly didn't get all of it.
Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. I am Paul Griffin, the host of the show, with other hosts. But before I even introduce them, I would love to tell you that this week on the show, we are talking tons of news from the past 2 weeks with major departures from WWE and AEW, and NXT is going extreme. Plus, the Motor City Machine Guns have finally arrived, and the bloodline is spilled into all of the WWE shows. So get ready to learn Chinese, because we are talking about the week that was in pro wrestling. And by we, I mean myself, but also B-Rob.
I also need to learn Chinese, just in case.
And Cody's here.
Ni hao.
Is that Chinese?
It
Yes.
sure is.
Ni hao
Okay.
kai lin. I remember that from watching that show with my children.
What show?
Ni kai lin. Ni hao.
That's
Ni hai. One of them. I forget.
I feel like I'm worse than Carlito. I don't know anything.
You don't know any words in Chinese?
No.
Xie xie?
Mhm.
I don't know nothing. I know what I know.
What do you know?
What am I supposed to know?
I mean, hello and thank you, I feel like you should know how to say hello and thank you in every language.
I feel like hello and thank you is probably universal.
So you
I think if
think I
you said
can
thank you
go-
to someone who doesn't speak English, they would understand contextually
wouldn't
what
be so
you're
sure.
saying.
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe. I think it is all in your gesturing and body language when you do it.
Right. Yeah, like there's context involved. Anyway, that's a thing we may or may not end up talking about on the show. Thank God. What a painful week it's been to be a wrestling fan on the internet. But speaking of the internet, that's where you can find this show, as you know, as someone who's listening to it on hopefully their phone or something. We were off last week, and we are back this week talking about all the things that were in wrestling this week, and a little bit of news from last week that we didn't really touch on that seems important. But yeah, there's tons of stuff to get into. Cody, I think you should take us right into the news so we can talk all about that.
I agree. As you mentioned at the top of the show, there were some departures over the past couple weeks in the wrestling industry. One of which sent shockwaves through the industry when Samantha Irvin announced that she was leaving WWE and subsequently replaced by Lillian Garcia, returning full-time as the Monday Night Raw ring announcer.
That's kind of wild to me. I mean, I can understand that, like, she's probably leveraging her celebrity that she gained doing announcing to do other things, because she is a talented singer and she has been doing other events, national anthems or, and all that other stuff at different things. So
Yeah.
she might be pursuing music or something like that. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, she wants to be up late because she's a singer.
Okay.
B-Rob doesn't get it.
I don't.
Does
I
Paul get
don't-
it?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, wow. I'm
I don't-
surprised. I was going to say, I wish Noah was here because he definitely would get it.
I know Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not fucking dumb. I'm white. Of course I know Sabrina Carpenter.
No, that's what it is.
I'm a little surprised that she's gone, considering the year that she's had and like the recognition that's been piled on. It seemed like somebody they'd want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And it also seemed pretty abrupt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not
Although
surprised considering Ricochet left, and I feel like there was talk a couple months ago that she was probably on her way out too.
Yeah, according to her, she this was months in the making. This wasn't, because there were like some reports that were out there that were like she just showed up on Monday and was like, I quit. And she quickly debunked that
Yeah, right.
online and was like, no, like they knew months ago that I was leaving. It just was abrupt to the fans because there wasn't any chatter of it. So it felt
Yeah,
like
it's
it was
not-
out of nowhere. But
Yeah, it's not really our business what she fucking do.
Yeah. I think this is great news for everybody because it seems like she wants to go pursue other things, and I'm happy for her and to be able to go do that. But I think it's good for the product because, sorry guys, controversial opinion here. I don't think she was very good at her job.
That is a typical Cody take.
I think she
I'm sorry.
I think she infused a little bit of personality into the whole product and whatnot, to where you didn't get the, the Howard Finkel-esque, like the made specifically for this ring announcing type voice in your ear holes and whatnot. Because I mean, that's some criticism that you get from your boy, the one that's doing on commentary on Raw now, right? He has a radio voice, but he doesn't necessarily have that wrestling.
Oh,
commentary
we're getting to him later.
We definitely are. But I don't know.
I've
I just
had 2 weeks to think about it.
Samantha Irvin just like, it's cool that she was passionate about stuff, but like, I'm sorry, but I was not a fan of her, getting emotional during WrestleMania and like.
I was
being human.
Nah.
She bought into the story. She liked it.
Yeah, like it's one thing if she's a commentator because they're there to like tell the story. A ring announcer is literally there just to say names and weights and locations. Like that's it. That's all you need.
Lucky for you, Lillian Garcia doesn't know where she is. So you don't have to worry about that.
Wait, future. I didn't watch all of Raw. Who's the number one container? Who's got
Tupperware?
Who's got the best container?
Rubbermaid.
Oh yeah, competition is stiff on this one. Ziploc
coming out of nowhere.
He's bagged them all up.
Goddamn hefty.
Man, they need to have a number one containers match with all the sponsors. I don't know. I like Samantha Irvin. I liked her personality that she put on there. I liked it more than Justin Roberts' personality because hers was less intrusive.
I disagree. Like, how is Justin Roberts intrusive?
The whole John thing that he loves to do for anybody named John, where he drags it out as long as possible, is so fucking dumb. Which I think is different. Where when she would do the, yeah, I don't like it. That's why I'm talking about it. But she would say like the Chelsea Green announcement, like there's not a better one. Can't be done. But it is what it is. I wonder if she's a boomerang like Kathy Kelly was when she left, where she'll disappear for a few years and then all of a sudden she'll be back.
Yeah, and realize that she can't make it in any other industry and comes crawling back. Yeah, you're probably right.
Maybe
Lillian Garcia.
Like that. That's the thing with Lillian. It's like, how long is she? She's back full time, but like, she's not a young voice. She doesn't bring anything new to the table. She obviously is a legend in the industry and has earned her spot. But like, how long is she gonna want to do that?
I mean, but like, this is kind of the thing. I mean, if you look at the two, it's similar trajectory, I guess, because Lillian Garcia came in. It was kind of male dominated as far as voice, announcing and whatnot. I think she even had beef with Howard Finkel on air, right? Or am I
Yeah, he was feuding with her and Big Daddy V.
Yeah. So like,
okay, that was bad though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, she was a personality. She was something different in that, that small scope of, professional wrestling. And she left because of that. And she went pursue a music career, and she did all these other ventures. And here she is back full circle. And Samantha Irvin's kind of doing the same thing.
But I don't think Lillian Garcia came running back. I think she was called and said, "Can you please come back to work?"
Yeah, because it's just like, we didn't line anything up.
Yeah, like to me, it felt like, "Can you come back? We'll sign you for like 2 years and we'll figure it out." Like, I don't know what they expect. And I think there's value in having new young faces and voices on here, like Kathy Kelly and Jay. What's her name?
Jackie Redmond?
Jackie Redmond.
She's the best interviewer they have.
Like, those are both great personalities to have backstage. And then you had like AEW does it. They have some fresh young faces. And then they're like, also, we have Mark Henry and JR's here. And that's cool and all. But we're in 2024. Like, are we going to move this product forward, or are we just going to keep calling the old people back?
I mean, Mark Henry's not there anymore, but I get your point.
Right. That's my point. It's like, it helps to move your product forward, and for them to be like, we got Lillian Garcia. Like, cool, I guess.
I don't know. Why is Mike Rome not in a better position? Isn't he like doing NXT now? I think he's their best announcer by far.
He could. My hunch with some of the people in NXT is they genuinely do not want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I just want to stay in Florida and do this bullshit. It's weird that Booker T flies to Florida every week.
I don't like it.
That blows my mind.
I don't.
Speaking of Florida bullshit, NXT is flying out of Florida for a very special show at what we as wrestling fans know to be the ECW arena. That's the 2300 arena in Philadelphia. NXT will be emanating there, I believe live, right? On
Live against Dynamite the night after the election.
November 6th on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Paul, are we getting Sandman here?
He already tweeted about it.
Did he? What did he say?
And not only did he tweet, he did the like curious face, and Brooks and Jensen responded to him.
Oh man.
So he said, never mind.
Who is it? The guy who's like crazy, who got fired, pretend.
Yeah.
Brooks, is that Brooks and or Jensen?
Yes.
No one could ever possibly know.
He responded to him. I think we are getting Sandman on this show, in which case I am seated and ready until he appears, and then I'm no longer seated.
You know what would be funny?
We've got to get somebody like RVD,
I think so.
Dreamer,
Paul
Bully
Heyman.
Ray, someone. That'd be cool, Paul.
You can't bring Paul Heyman back there before you bring him back on SmackDown or
You
Raw.
could do whatever the fuck you want. It's make believe.
No, you're right.
I mean, yeah, it's make believe, but still, he's part of the bloodline stuff.
Well, yeah, bloodline is all over
every.
every product, so they can do what they
I'm
want.
going to complain about that later.
I
Reason
mean,
to stick around, folks.
To be honest,
Paul,
though, if they want to do some bloodline stuff on the show, that might actually not be a bad idea. You know, advertise bloodline, that'll attract viewers, which they're going to go crazy, and I'm sure like Punk will be there, and all these other things to try to beat Dynamite, to try to get a huge audience. I wouldn't be surprised if they advertise bloodline, and then this is actually where you do the Paul Heyman return.
You know what would be funny?
Because he'd get a massive reaction.
You know it would be funny though. Just I know it won't happen, but you never say never. They do all this ECW stuff. They got the ECW arena. They're doing this big live show on Wednesday, but instead of Sandman showing up on NXT, he show up on Dynamite.
Well, see, if I'm Tony Khan, I would absolutely do that.
I know. I would throw the money at this motherfucker.
I would be calling up all.
He'll show up
ECW
for
guys.
the Metallica theme too.
Oh, that's so true.
But as someone who has talked to people at AEW about the Sandman, I don't think that's something they're interested in.
I know.
That's fine. They have their own.
But yeah, we talked about it
stories.
after the St. Louis show, that NXT needs to like travel and do these smaller, cool venues and get the hell out of Florida. So I'm excited for this.
I wonder, and this is me fantasy booking myself into a storyline that I really want, but after watching NXT this week and seeing what they're doing with Ethan Page, it does make sense to me that you could possibly switch the title back, get Trick Williams off of this show, and put Joe Hendry on NXT.
Yeah, I knew
it. But it's champion versus champion at that point, and that's more interesting.
What champion of what?
Joe Hendry has a title match.
He's facing Dolph Ziggler at TNA, whatever the fuck.
Oh,
Bound for Glory.
Yeah, and
okay. I don't keep up with TNA, obviously. Why do I feel like Bound for Glory happens every month?
I think it does.
Like I don't know why, but I feel like every time I hear about a TNA pay-per-view happening, it's Bound for Glory.
No, they've been hyping it up for a long time though.
Like,
I think if you trade
in your house, do they just do it all the time?
You could trade the belt back to Ethan Page, and he could do a whole promo about how he's beaten all these people, and then you're like, I've beaten Trick Williams, I've beaten Joe Hendry, and then all of a sudden he shows up, and that's enough to start the program. Except he has a title this time, And he's like, you actually didn't beat me, you cheated. And they could do that Extreme Rules at NXT 2300.
There would be a damn fool if they don't put the title on Joe Hendry at Bound for Glory.
I'm going to say that forever. Like, he's going to show up in the Royal Rumble and I'll be like, I can't believe he didn't win.
Yeah, I mean, I know before they had reason to why they didn't do it, but like now there's like no reason not to do it.
Wow, Bound for Glory really just happens every October for like the last 20 years.
It's the only time we talk about TNA is October.
I guess so. It really just feels like it's either Bound for Glory or Slammiversary. I feel like those are its only 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's their biggest, both of those.
So I feel like those are the only ones I ever hear about.
Yeah, because that's the only ones that hype up, even though they have other shows.
Yeah, I guess so.
So do we get ECW involvement or do we get look who's sitting in the second row?
I hope we get involved.
I think we get both.
I bet the Dudley Boys are sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, I could see certain people sitting in the crowd, but like I don't know, if you're gonna get Sandman there, like you got to bring he's got to cane somebody.
And there's so many people you can hit with a cane in this company, like 1,000. They're all bozos.
Yeah, Cord.
Oh, did you get fucking Nunzio to interact with the Don?
The Don?
That would be cool. The FBI.
Yeah.
Segment with the FBI
I don't even like that gimmick, but I would think that's pretty fucking cool.
You got to do. Yeah, I hate the fucking Dawn of NXT bullshit, but the idea that you could get the FBI involved here, or some part of it, is Tajiri there? I don't know. I've talked myself into being hyped for this show. I hope they have a little tiny stage in the corner, not like, oh, we brought our big screen, but it looks like the old ECW stage. It just says NXT on it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I do like that.
I mean, the venue's tiny. Like, utilize that space.
Speaking of getting the FBI involved, are we going to talk about Vince McMahon at all?
No. Well, let's not.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't really have it in the news, but it's news. If anybody listened to our Patreon special on the Fatal 4 Plus tier, when we talked about the documentary, they did cover the Ring Boys a little bit. And it turns out, I guess they're mad now. The statute of limitations did not expire, and there's a lawsuit in place.
Yeah. Well, so the lawsuit was filed in the state of Maryland, which my understanding is that Maryland has laws in place that basically there is no statute of limitation on.
Isn't that weird? That you can like, it just doesn't make like some places it is and some places it isn't.
Yeah, some people want to leave it up to the states.
Yeah, maybe that's a bad idea.
Not
in this case, but
right? Yeah,
not in this case.
Some of the alleged victims of the Ring Boys scandal, I guess you could call it, have gotten together with a lawyer and filed a lawsuit against Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO and WWE.
Excellent. I am all for more trouble falling on the McMahon family, especially Linda, who is awful. Like, she's a genuinely despicable person who gets away with being like the level-headed person, but she's scum, and she's in this too. So happy for that. Wish the Ring Boys all the best. I hope, I hope Vince and Linda get what they deserve.
Linda, listen. Linda, listen.
Switching gears to the other company, AEW. There's some news on that front. AEW Shockwave is a potential show coming to WBD. It's being shopped around, and Battle of the Belts and Rampage are both leaving in 2025. That's been confirmed.
Good. That sorry ass, stupid ass, redundant ass Battle of the Belts. Get that shit out of there.
Did they ever battle over belts on that show at all?
Yeah, but like historically, there's been like 12, 13 of them some bitches, and there's only been like 2 legit title changes, and one was just like the result of a match that just happened to be for a title.
Yeah,
Just
fuck that waste of time ass show.
Stupid shit. I finally get what I want.
I'm not gonna. I mean,
Battle of the Belts on Mount Everest.
I'm not the best person to like ask for an AEW opinion from, but I don't think anybody should miss these shows, including people who love the product. Like, it's a lot of work to watch wrestling. Do you really need Rampage?
Not really.
Do you need a Battle of the Belts?
No.
Who's that for? Who's that for?
No,
if
I've
you
been
say
saying it
sickos, you have
forever.
their other product.
What, ROH?
Yeah, that and Dynamite and Collision and
That-
8-hour
that-
pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Is just like
There's no
too much wrestling.
shortage.
It's too much
this,
wrestling.
yeah, that's my thing. They're dropping two, shopping around another one, and they won't do shit with ROH.
Isn't Shockwave supposed to be like some silly, weird gimmick show though? Like, it's not your standard wrestling product.
Is AEW Speed.
I remember reading about, like, I wonder if I can find it while we're sitting here. I remember hearing like a show synopsis of what Shockwave was supposed to be. Let's see if I can find it. Man, can I just go to one fucking website without yelling about my ad blocker being in place? Let me just read. Remember when the internet was good?
Yeah,
It sucks
I
now.
remember that.
I hate the internet.
yeah. Being a young dumb kid on the internet, I was making web pages for free with Dragon Ball Z and porn on it. It was fun.
And for more of that, head to the Discord.
Yes.
Basically the same thing you're doing.
Well, it's One Piece now.
I thought Shockwave was supposed to have like. I didn't think it was your standard like bullshit wrestling show, but whatever. It's interesting they haven't found a spot for it, and it wasn't part of their previous deal that they just announced.
Shock the system.
Well, speaking of the system being shocked, another departure in the wrestling world. Jimmy Jacobs is no longer with AEW. For those not initiated, Jacobs was working closely with Tony Khan, in the creative department for the company. Apparently the split was mutual, and Jimmy Jacobs is no longer there.
I have seen this presented as many things. One being that he's the reason the show has been not good lately.
Mhm.
And I kind of don't buy that, considering he's been gone for 2 weeks and I've seen the show. So nothing's really changed on that front. I don't know. I feel like Jimmy Jacobs is not someone you necessarily want to lose in that position, but I feel like, hasn't he also been there since the beginning? Am I crazy in thinking that
You are crazy in thinking that because he was working for WWE.
Yep.
at the time?
Mhm. He
Yeah,
got
well-
fired
During the
because
pandemic,
of-
no?
I think he got fired because he took a picture with those guys while he was employed with WWE.
How dumb. What a Vince McMahon thing.
Sorry,
Oh,
so
well.
he was working for WWE from 2015 to 2017.
Okay.
He posted a photo with members of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And that got him in trouble in 2017?
Yeah. Then he did some independent stuff, went to Impact for a quick couple of years, and then AEW in 2023. So he's only been there for like a year.
Why did I feel like he's been there way longer than that? I don't know.
Because time keeps
Uh.
on slipping into the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I he's probably a good head to have around, but if he doesn't want to be there and they're departing, that's fine. I just don't think he's the reason that the show sucks.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you say that? Like, what do you... Because let's think about this for a second. He was part of creative for arguably the worst period in the history of AEW. And he was also a part of creative for WWE from 2015 to 2017. which was also notoriously terrible.
Not on SmackDown. That was like the best SmackDown era.
Was that SmackDown Live? I thought SmackDown Live started in 2017.
I remember that
You're
was
talking
the
like
SmackDown with
Dean
like,
Ambrose, AJ Styles, like that.
yeah. I know that was that time because there was a debate that I tuned out of the AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose match to watch Trump and Hillary. They like opened a SmackDown with it. So
Which match was better?
I'm disappointed with the outcomes of both.
Wrong person won each time.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I just feel like in a company like AEW,
I think they got too much going on.
they certainly have too much going on, but knowing like if you can think of the people who are booking the show, Tony Khan, Will, RJ City, like people like that, probably helps to have someone like a Jimmy Jacobs in there. And I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll turn everything around and everyone can point at him and be like, yeah, you fucked up the whole thing. But I don't know. I'm for people with experience.
I'm not saying that he was terrible, but I'm also saying I have no evidence that he's good either. Like I've also never seen a Jimmy Jacobs match. I've never seen.
He's the zombie princess.
You don't know Age of the Fall?
I don't know. Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
You get a history lesson from some Ring of Honor shit for you.
I'd love to if Tony Khan would like make that accessible.
You are asking for too much. Poor Tony can't figure this stuff out, man. It's hard. He doesn't know what this is. He doesn't know how to stream things. He doesn't know how to put up libraries. Can't even get a sound right on his fucking show. He doesn't know how to do this.
I swear that dude just opens up EWR every week and just makes his shows with that software and calls it a day.
I mean, it was a good software.
It's a good game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it for the news? Did anything break while we were talking about all this crap?
Let me see. Let me check my news machine here.
Twitter nude machine.
Damian Priest got to do the hype package for the New York Yankees World Series like video.
Oh, that's cool.
That just dropped. That's pretty freaking sweet.
And they all said, "Who's that?"
It's like, who's this tall, like attractive man?
Yeah, I would assume if I was a baseball fan who didn't watch wrestling, I'd have no clue who Damian Priest was.
Like, is he a shortstop? Is he a pitcher? Who is that?
Does that guy do baseball? Well, if that's all the news, we can take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Dynamite this week, SmackDown, the Motor City Machine Guns are here, the Bloodline's doing stuff, and Cody and I are about to agree on some shit from Raw that I think everybody will want to stick around for. So more of that after the break.
Oh boy.
Like what you've heard so far? Want more from Didn't Get All of It Japan? Sign up for our new Fatal 4 Plus tier for just $5 a month, where you get everything at the Discord level and get exclusive new content like Didn't Get All of It Japan on Excursion, where this month we discuss the new Netflix original series Queen of Villains, about the life and career of Japanese wrestling legend Dump Matsumoto. Get that and more from all the Fatal 4 podcasts exclusively through our Patreon at the Fatal 4 Plus level, and thanks for listening.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed all of those great commercials from your favorite local car dealer or whatever other ad you might have gotten.
The damn casino or whatever.
Oh, the fucking casino ads. There's so many of them. Didn't even know that was allowed. Anyway.
Yeah, like Chum Bucket Casino or whatever Ryan Seacrest is always trying to sell me.
Yeah, that's the one. Chumbawamba Casino. Speaking of casinos, AEW loves to do casino themed things because they have a gambling problem. And I would say they've been taking a gamble with their storylines lately and losing.
Nah.
So B-Rob's liking this stuff. Dynamite this week kicked off with a murderer's row of jobbers in the parking lot waiting for the Mox World Order to show up so they could beat them up in the parking lot. And
I don't.
How do we feel about this stuff? Because they kind of kicked this
story
stuff off while we were out. I don't fully get it. I mean, it was happening before, but like the ball started rolling while we were out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They still haven't explained what this is.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff happened.
To me,
go ahead. Yeah, please explain to me, bro.
Yeah, well, to me, what it looked like is they're actually using day one talent finally, and they're using Mox as the catalyst to put those guys at the forefront.
Sure, but they're like taking over the company, but they're just showing up and wrestling. Like they're not doing.
My only qualm about this whole thing, I don't have a issue with what they're trying to do in that regard. You know, using Mox top tier talent for this company to push those people that I've been saying for years since day one in this company should be higher in status. But, you know, they got new toys and they just got pushed to the back of the line.
Well, wait, who are you talking about as day one talent? Because I'm like, yes, Moxley should be used more, but
Private Party, Dark Order, just everybody else. But like,
just because you were there first doesn't make you the best.
Yeah, they ain't
the company was founded on these people. Anyway, besides that,
we love company.
Yeah, this country was founded on people who
hey, don't do it.
Didn't like your people. Let's just put it that way.
We didn't do it.
Well, yeah, you kind of did. But anyway, like I
didn't fucking do this.
Like I was saying, no, my only thing about that narrative is you got Christian fucking Cage walking around with his clipboard and the briefcase bullshit. It's kind of like counteracting that whole thing.
How so?
It's just like
cashing the clipboard. You mean? He's gonna...
it's cashing on the list. It's just like it's throwing it all off.
Everything just feels so detached from this. Like the Moxley program is like, oh, we're taking over this company. You don't understand. We're gonna beat everybody up and take this company. But like, Tony Khan's not mad. Timu Adam Pierce isn't mad. Like, they don't care.
What are
no
they
one
taking?
Seems to care. No one seems to care about the jobbers. It's like, exactly, what are they taking? They're not.
Like, he's already the champion.
And they're not running roughshod over the show because nothing's happened. The matches go on. The segments happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing being derailed here except a Dark Order guy gets to be booked to get beat up, which is like good for them, I guess.
And then you got the whole thing with MVP and his whole thing going on with Benjamin and Swerve and all that shit, which is separate from everything else we just talked about.
I think that's the problem, is so much stuff is separate and they're trying to run an all-encompassing angle that is living on its own little island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no more Codyverse. There's the Moxverse.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand Moxley's motivation. It's like, so... Because Moxley is a day one or like day two AEW guy, right? Like he showed up on the first pay-per-view. And what is his problem? Is his problem with like what the company's become? Then why is he beefing with people that have been there since day one? Shouldn't the story be, oh, I've been here since day one and I don't appreciate these guys, you know, like Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet and all these guys who like are jumping ship years later.
Name one white guy, by the way, so it doesn't seem like he's racist.
Oh,
Christian.
Sure, Christian.
But also, like, did you hear a lot of the promos that he cut about this particular thing?
Maybe.
I mean, the stuff I've heard is nonsensical. It's not like
that's the thing. I've watched them, but I can't tell you what he said because it's just like.
I mean, that's just Mox in general, though.
I'm warning y'all, like, things are gonna change.
I mean, he kind of echoed what I said. He's like, you have these guys that been here day one, but what have they done? He's like, I'm making you do your job. I'm making you step up. I'm making you be more than what the fuck you are.
By kicking their ass. I don't know. Like, but
So
also,
is he mad that
this
they're
is
all
very-
dorks because he spent the last 4 years being a dork?
It's also
Well,
very
he spent
reminiscent
a
of
lot of years being a dork.
Like the Blackpool Combat Club has not like been booked effectively up until like ever.
Just now.
So yeah, until right this second. And
But isn't this the same story that the fucking Pages group did? The
I think
Outcasts?
so.
Possibly.
Like, it's basically the same thing of her being like, it's just like the opposite. It's like she was like,
Well, she was like, we better than y'all. Fuck y'all.
yeah, and it was like the AEW originals versus the Outcasts, and it's like, it's basically the same story. Like every story in this company is about the company. Like, why can't we just have feuds of two people that don't like each other? Like Hangman and Swerve has been the only like good
But even
major story they've done.
they worked in talking about the company to their angle. Like
True. Yeah.
even this week with Fletcher and
Osprey.
Osprey. Even this week, Fletcher gave this awesome promo, and I hate
I
Fletcher.
like that shit.
I thought this promo was excellent. I thought he really stepped out. I thought, to me, it just showed that you don't need Callus there at all.
Yeah.
But
Did
the
you see the
promo was
after promo?
good. He shaved his fucking head, thank God, because he had the worst haircut in the history of the business. And even at the very end of this heated promo where he's like, I'm nothing like you. I hate you. We're different. All this stuff. He's like, I'm going to take this company to new heights. Like, get the fuck out of here. You lost me already. Who cares about this company? Just go out there and fight each other. It's an outlet to fight. You don't have to take this company to new heights. Just go do stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get that. I understand that gripe, but like this, man, I love that promo so much because I seen exactly what the fuck he's talking about, just prior to them both being in this company. So it was kind of validating for me to hear a lot of the shit that he was saying, because that legit is a lot of the criticism that he got. And it's like, it also extends to a lot of the other people that are still in New Japan right now that are legitimately receiving that same criticism that they are Will Ospreay clones. Cal Newman right now is in Japan, and people hate him because he was brought in by Ospreay. Ospreay mentored him, and now they think he's trying to be the next Ospreay, and people are giving him hate for that. Similar complaint that Kyle Fletcher got.
I don't know who that is.
I know, because you don't watch New Japan.
He came in and said, you got a friend in me. And they don't like him?
Yeah. But also, like, what I was
No, that's what he said.
Kyle Newman.
He does an RKO and he sings that song.
That's funny. No, but like, did you see the Fletcher after promo as well?
No,
He just
I just watched the show that they put on TV.
Yeah. Well, he expanded upon, some of the stuff he said, and he continued to shave the rest of his hair off. And it was some good shit. I mean, I posted it in the Discord.
I thought it was good. I really liked it until the whole, please don't take the company anywhere. Just do good stuff and the company will go with you. You don't have to do anything for the company. Ever. And I mean that even as humans in real life. Don't just do it for you. Don't hurt yourself for McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, I want to see a Tope Super C in the goddamn fry bin.
Yeah, I would have loved to see someone who worked at McDonald's this week do a suicide dive.
I mean, that guy that was working the drive-thru.
Yeah, or just figuring out how the fry machine worked. That'd been cool. Adam Cole is back.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's all.
Someone please explain to me. Why is he a babyface again?
Who? Donald
Because
Trump?
MJF's a heel now.
Adam Cole.
No,
Oh.
Donald Trump's not a fucking babyface, you clown.
Like, this company, my biggest two complaints are everything is about the company, and everybody changes from heel to face
That's why we don't have
every
those.
other week. Whatever's
It is hard to
convenient.
get invested in those characters for sure.
It's so hard.
Mhm.
But he's
Statlander,
also been dead for a year.
Adam
Yeah.
Cole, MJF, like all these people, they are flip-flopping so much, and I hate it. Like they really, maybe they just realized, hey, this devil shit sucks, and
Yeah.
the Undisputed Kingdom sucks, so let's just abandon it. Which, like, probably the right move, but like at least put in some effort into explaining yourself. Like,
I mean, this
he
sure
just
seems
showed up and was
telegraphed.
like, boom, and now we're supposed to cheer him.
I mean,
Cool.
that is the problem with a lot of people in AEW is that they will cheer you even if you're supposed to be the most hated. Moxley gets cheered. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
going to destroy this company. And the crowd's like, yes, do that.
Do
we will
it.
cheer it because he's fucking cool. So it's hard to like Adam Cole is notoriously like cool guy. It's hard to boo someone like that. And it's probably best to just align them with how it works with the crowd. But it sure seemed like this promo that Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom interrupted was setting the stage for them to turn on him.
Yeah, I felt like that was going to happen in that moment, but
It just
looked
seems
like
so
it's gonna
phony. And I don't know. I wish they would like.
Well, I also
like,
think
trick me.
that's in
Like,
part
don't
to
do that at all.
Roderick Strong's delivery.
Yeah. I mean, he's gotten better at promos. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Mhm.
But like that
I'll
could have
give
been
him
a way
too.
that they had done the turn. Like Adam Cole could have showed up and immediately been interrupted by these guys who basically like chew him out for, hey, you were gone for so long, you came back and you let MJF beat you down. Like you're the weak link, you suck. And then they beat Adam Cole's ass.
Well, my
That
whole thing
gives you that like kind of sympathy turn of being like,
yeah. Well, my
we
whole thing
didn't
in
want
that,
to see him get beat up like that.
yeah, my whole thing in that moment was like, I thought MJF was going to come up on the screen like he did, and he was going to say, "Hey, you didn't learn anything," and they was going to jump him on behalf of MJF.
That would
would
suck
been
too.
that would be so terrible considering how that program played out.
I know, but he has money, so they can explain that off. I don't know.
That's what they did last
Stupid
time. He
shit.
bought the Mogul Embassy or whatever for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And I
dumb.
like that he even he's self-aware enough to be like, oh, typical MJF of me, to where like I make you dance and jump through hoops so you can have a match with me.
Yeah, he's very Deadpool.
It's very hard to get invested in really anything in this company, except for maybe a couple of the women's programs right now are interesting.
Yeah. Mariah May's my
And
shit.
I do enjoy MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Swerve.
Hell yeah.
Everything else though, I mean, fucking Chris Jericho won the ROH World Title this week. Like, what are we
My
doing?
God, I was so angry. So angry. Just throw it in the trash. Fuck it.
Yeah, throw that whole company out. Just
I
cool.
just
You bought the tape library, Tony. Enjoy that, and don't put it on streaming anywhere. But just fucking slit ROH in the throat at this point. There's no reason for it to exist.
it's crazy that they have like, what's her name?
Athena.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ember Moon, and I'm like, that's wrong.
I'm told she's doing great things.
Yes,
All I hear is that she's like the best that they have, and she's just
it
doing
is.
ROH shit. Like, what are we doing? You got no problem putting ROH people on TV. Why not her?
Except for her. Yeah.
Why isn't
don't
she
get it.
defending the ROH women's title on Dynamite?
Don't get it.
Like, I mean, I love Mark Briscoe, but like,
Well,
why is he the only one who gets to bleed over between companies?
because somebody died.
And it's a shame it took that for him to get on TV, because they would have been a great addition to all the stuff we've been watching for years.
Yeah. And it's a shame.
Anyway,
Shame.
any other AEW talk? I feel like we've pissed off a good amount of our listeners with that.
The freaking what Cody brought up real quick about Shelton Benjamin and MVP and all that stuff. I really like that whole shit. I like the whole thing. It kind of feels like because we getting Bobby, right?
Do we love Bobby?
Yeah, of course we
So-
are.
So it's like Shelton feels to me at this point in time to like I'm beating everybody at the TNT level, just like I'm killing everybody here. So like if he's doing this well at that level, then you get Bobby Lashley in, who I say is a step above. Who the fuck he gonna be fucking up like that?
Oh, the world champion. He should beat Moxley.
Right. But what is
Like-
their main event scene? It's just Moxley.
Moxley running around.
Did you know that Bryan Danielson retired?
I totally forgot about that.
They sure don't talk about it. That
Yep.
seems weird that you wouldn't talk about that.
He's at home resting comfortably. Is what they say.
Yeah, Shelton should win the TNT title, and then
Mhm.
MVP should beat Moxley and win the world title, and then get
MVP?
Leo Rush
MVP should-
and
MVP?
Yeah,
I
and then
wouldn't be
Lashley can
opposed.
manage MVP.
no, Leo Rush and who's the other guy they're gonna put in this thing?
Swerve.
No.
Swerve's not going in the group.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Kip Sabian.
No, he's
Get
playing with
somebody
Christian
else
right
and,
now.
and have them win the tag titles.
I mean, it's kind of funny though.
give them all
Like, it's kind of funny unless y'all can point out somebody different. He's only been handing the cards to the black people.
I mean, that's kind of been the thing, right?
Not
With the exception of that
originally.
brief period during COVID where he was talking to Andrade and the white dude from something.
Yeah, I mean, this is the extension of the Beatdown Clan, which I believe had Samoa Joe and other people in it.
Samoa Joe and the Beatdown Clan?
hmm
Huh. What a time.
MVP said the N word on TNA television.
And
Wow,
they're not on
shit.
TV anymore.
Yep.
I guess they might be on TV. I don't know.
Eric Young was in the Beatdown Clan.
What? Maybe, I believe. I don't
Look,
know.
he couldn't get it all right. It was his first time.
Is a Samoa Joe, Low Key, Kenny King, Bobby Lashley, MVP.
Oh, I fucking forgot about Kenny King. What is he up to?
He is ROHing it, kind of impacting it. He's like really bouncing around.
He still wrestles. I thought he was just like on The Bachelor and that was it.
He was here at Booker T joint the same night that Matt Cardona got injured.
Huh. All right. Well, good for him. I'll let you figure out who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Speaking of good for people, SmackDown this week we will finally have to talk about because the Motor City Machine Guns had their debut in front of a crowd that has never heard of them before.
Oh man,
This
I felt
was-
so bad.
This was rough. They weren't in Detroit, right?
No, they were in South Carolina.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's not even in the same hemisphere.
This sucked. Everything about their debut I thought was mishandled. I didn't enjoy the like Twitter video going out earlier in the
Yeah.
day of them just walking in and casually meeting Adam Pearce. That's lame. Their music sucks. The crowd did not react at all.
Motor
Like, I don't know. I just thought it was mishandled. They should have waited for a crowd that
That new
would react.
Like this week when they're going to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, wait for a notoriously
B.I.G.
enthusiastic and smart wrestling crowd, or
I mean,
do it
to
in
be
Detroit.
fair, they are doing DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns in Brooklyn
Which,
this week.
yeah, that'd be
So give them an hour.
But like, why not? I don't know. Why not just book DIY versus a mysterious opponent or something, and let the internet obviously assume and know that it's going to be Motor City Machine Guns, but don't outright say it. And then
I didn't think their match was bad by any means. I thought they did a good job. In
unremarkable.
there.
I thought it was unremarkable.
It definitely didn't stand out, and I think part of that is because they were in there with two other teams that were doing crazy shit. Like if you want them to
It
stand
wasn't a
out,
showcase match. Yeah.
you don't need other people also doing springboards and fast maneuvers. But regardless, their theme song is terrible. I'd like that they at least had pyro. Like, you can tell they want to do stuff right with them. So hopefully that happens. It would be a shame if they like just fell to the wayside.
I mean, same. Oh shit, just a different day.
All right. So they're doing these tournaments on both shows for the tag titles. Is the idea that the people who win the tournaments facing each other, or are they just challenging for the tag titles on their respective brands?
I have
Raw's
no
doing a
clue.
tournament too.
They are.
I did not realize that.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
Or is the idea that they're going to face each other at Survivor Series, maybe? Whoever's the tag champs?
They're gonna.
The only reason I'm saying that is because the War Raiders against Motor City Machine Guns at Survivor Series would be lovely.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, Raw's doing that. They've got the Mysterio Dragon League team, and
Yeah,
New Day.
they're doing a thing over there.
No, I don't think so. No, it's just number one contender. They're just both brands are copying each other. They're doing the same tournament.
Okay, well, at least change
the
the
winner's
name
just
so it doesn't look like.
their respective champions.
Well, neat. I hope the Motor City Machine Guns win the tag titles because the bloodline fucking stinks. So we saw another thing happen on the show. Jey Uso showed up to kick things off. He doesn't go here. He's not allowed to be here. He came out and told Solo to stop being a bozo and put the family back together. And then he left and crossed Roman and Jimmy as he was leaving.
And
And Roman told him that he was proud of him, which I guess is the most we can expect from a apology tour.
Mm-hmm.
And later, Roman was going to acknowledge Solo, which I don't really fully remember how that played out, but it turned into the bloodline beating him up.
Mm-hmm.
So I struggle with this, and it's kind of the same problem I have with the AEW Moxley stuff, or one of the problems. I have plenty of problems with that. The idea that Moxley can't beat up every single person waiting for him in that parking lot by himself is silly to me. The same way Roman Reigns selling for this bloodline act is silly to me. Like, these guys are dorks. He should just kill them all and take back his spicy peppers.
Nah.
But they're setting the stage.
For what?
Because
Though? I'm
Jey-
still trying to figure it out.
War games.
War games.
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of my problem is that it's like we all know exactly where this is going, and it's just taking slightly too long to get there.
I just want to see what combination will it be for war games.
What do you mean? It's so obvious. It's Jay and Sammy and Jimmy.
Sammy, yeah,
and Roman.
Uso, Sammy, Roman versus the Temu bloodline.
I know, but like all the other speculation. I'm just waiting. Shit has been weird in wrestling.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people circulated a fake poster of The Rock and Cody Rhodes on that. The Rock
no,
is
no,
not
I
doing a fucking
yeah,
War
no
Games
shit.
match.
Nah,
No,
Get out of
fuck all
here.
that.
In-
Yeah, that's
In November? No. The slowest time of the year for wrestling, The Rock is not coming back. Except for that one time he came back at Survivor Series to team with, to take on R-Truth and The Miz. But let's not use history to correct my my takes. Yeah, so over on the Raw side, Jey Uso defended the Intercontinental title against Braun Breaker, who, with the help from Solo and people showing up, won the title back.
So this is what kind of upset me. And it wasn't like I was fuming mad or just like angry mad. It was just like kind of hilarious. What are you doing here? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you win the belt. I was like, motherfucker, you're already the champ.
Yeah, just hit him if you wanted to retain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was silly and it was dragged out, but I do like flip-flopping the titles around, which is refreshing.
And then it was like what I said.
Now he has reason to be mad and go help his family.
Yeah. Braun Breaker just repeat his NXT performance. I have belt. I lose belt. Then I have another match and get belt right back.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of his character development of underestimating his opponent, losing, and then coming back better. Except in this case, he didn't come back better. He just had help.
Mm-hmm.
And his super spear was
I don't like that.
Pretty fucking lame.
To be fair, he did come back better because he actually kicked out of Uso's whole shtick. He got hit with the super kick,
the two kicks and the splash,
and then he kicked out clean. So I do feel like it was the story of yes, he learned from the last match and got better and
Braun back better.
Braun back better.
Braun better.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, the story here is that Jey Uso got cheated and now he's going to go team with his friends and family. They're putting the band back together. Everyone's so excited. There's Bloodline on both shows now. Why does Solo only have one outfit?
Maybe he has multiple of the same thing.
Like Superman?
Yeah. He's just a whole bunch of the same outfit in the closet.
Okay. Like a little red tie or something, a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Super Spear, I have finally come around on Joe Tessitore needing to find his groove.
Thank you.
This dude sounds so fucking bored.
He sucks. He's so boring and sounds bored, and there's no inflection. It's dreadful.
I think he's really, really good when he gets into a match and loses his fucking mind. Except that's never happening enough to justify the amount of times where it sounds like he's just reading the script in front of him.
Yes.
Which happened a ton on this show. Yeah, and I feel like it's happening more on
Joseph up there.
The 2-hour Raws, it ain't for me. This show, after 10 years, it really needs the 3 hours. I'm sorry for the people who think that that's too much. It's not. You can tell week after week, there's so many people that are left off. There's storylines that are just completely forgotten. And the taped show that they did last week with Joe, he can't do it. He doesn't have it. Nope. I gave him a shot. It ain't Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, that's for sure.
So we can follow this one, and Cody was always right.
Nah.
I can say always.
I'm always right.
Flip him for Vic Joseph.
Sure.
Get him away from Booker.
Call up Booker as well.
No.
So when Trick Williams gets called up,
no,
they have someone to do the presentation properly.
No.
I think that has to happen that way.
No, it does not have to happen. No.
How are you gonna bring up Trick Williams without Booker
No. T? Yeah, it's easy. You just do it.
Yeah, but
nah.
Then what? You just expect him to come out and people not?
Yes, they did it without him already.
But how do people know if he likes it?
Shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
Read the next thing.
Lillian Garcia.
Yeah,
I don't want anyone to have the worst day at their job, but I think she was
rough,
a little flustered and a little rusty here. And like I said,
flustered.
You don't need to bring back the old people. You got plenty of people. Use the people.
She hasn't done it in a while. I'll cut her some slack for the first week or two.
You didn't cut Joe Tessitore any slack for his first week.
It's because it was abysmal. And I know Lillian Garcia can be good.
I think she's fine. I don't know if good is. I think she's just fine.
I'm waiting for her to fall again.
Oh, when Charlie Haas knocked her off the apron?
What? She turned into Grape Lady.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had a whole. I think I could probably find the video, but there's she's notorious for not having good fucking legs or something. She just fall all the time. Fall down the ramp, fall.
She's
fall
like
side of-
anti Stacy Keebler.
Yeah, she's got legs, but she does not know how to use them. It's like, what the fuck is going out? This is the things growing out of my ass.
Yeah,
Poor
where
Lillian.
does the ass start?
Every time they put that spotlight on her, you could tell she's like, oh, fuck. It's so much easier when I'm in the corner with my papers. Anyway, she's back. What else happened on the show? Oh, they did a funny bit throughout the thing where Seth and Bronson brawled constantly in the backstage area. Anytime one of them would approach Adam Pearce, the other would show up and attack the other. Most of the stuff we've seen Bronson do, but it's still fun. And they'll be facing each other at Crown Jewel in a match.
I gotta say, I do enjoy the Adam Pearce role.
I like that he hates his job.
Yeah, I just like that he's always so flustered. He can never keep anything under control. Everything's a mess.
Well, Nick Aldis is just doing what?
I like that he
cool.
works.
Like he's like cool and calm and collected, and Adam Pearce is just like sweating bullets all the time and like in over his head. And I don't know, it works. It's a good dynamic.
I like that he works in needing a drink every week.
Yeah,
he's fun. I think of the general managers, like their decision to pick some no names in the scheme of WWE was a smart decision.
Yes.
And let them like build their own personality.
Both former NWA champions.
Right, no names. That's what the N stands for in NWA. No Name Wrestling Alliance.
Just like Cody, he can be general manager then.
Are you telling me it's no names with attitude?
I mean, you could say that. You couldn't say the other thing. B-Rock could. You can't.
But I
you
don't
can't.
wanna.
Yeah. Speaking of not wanting to, we are going to come back after this quick break to talk about NXT Halloween Havoc, which is coming to us live on Peacock this Sunday. So more of that right after a quick word from your local car dealership or Chumbawamba Casino.
And welcome back to Didn't Get All of It. I hope you all are ready. It is spooky season, and NXT is bringing the havoc. We've got Halloween Havoc live on Peacock this Sunday, emanating from the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which, I mean, come on. Hershey,
Squirts.
Halloween, chocolate, give out chocolate on Halloween.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's gotta be intentional, right?
No.
Well, anyway, Halloween Havoc, which, not gonna lie, until we started recording this podcast, I totally thought this was just like a Tuesday special. Didn't realize this was actually a PLE. But it is, and it's happening, and it's got a bunch of matches. So, quite a few of them are the spin the wheel gimmick.
Yeah.
Which we've already spun said wheel, and so we know what's happening. But
Mm-hmm.
the
I'm
first
surprised
one
they didn't announce like a host, like Scarlett and what's her butt aren't hosting this.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Shotzi.
a surprise.
They should bring the boogeyman.
Maybe. Yeah, they should.
Thank you. See, Kalani Jordan is defending her belt. What does she have? Oh, the Women's North American Championship against Fallon Henley, JC Jane, or Jasmine Nix, because it is a spin the wheel, make the deal, where the spinner's choice is to be determined.
How do they pick?
I don't know.
Between the two of them.
I don't actually understand what I'm just reading it on Wikipedia. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea.
How's she gonna overcome these odds?
How this works, but
Yeah.
Andre Chase is battling Ridge Holland in an ambulance match. Ridge Holland has to win this, right? I mean, there's no other wrestler that's put more wrestlers in hospitals and ambulances than this guy, right?
I think that's the idea. Andre Chase is so weird because the Chase U act sucks so much, but you can tell he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like under that big red sweater, there's something going on there. I could see him winning this only because Ridge Holland has gotten the best of them across the board.
Possibly.
But I don't know. I don't know if it calls for an ambulance match. I felt like they've really stacked this show with gimmicks.
Sure. Yeah. This is basically NXT's Extreme Rules, I feel like.
Right. Until they go to the ECW arena
To
where
the
they will
ECW arena.
absolutely have some shenanigans.
The match that I'm most looking forward to is Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Giulia and Stephanie Vacour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should
Wanna
be
see
a
that.
hoot. I really love this. Like this, all of this angle itself feels like you could put it on like regular
Main
TV. Yeah, get it off NXT. Like all of these girls are ready. Even the ones that, you know, have the language barrier for just getting here and stuff.
Doesn't matter,
Their
though.
presence, their presence is so strong. Like it doesn't matter.
They
doesn't-
they jump off the screen. Like they don't need to talk. Not everybody needs to talk. It's fine. You can have
Alito can
characters who are-
translate for them.
So
Eh.
I was watching it on mute for a good majority of it. I know they did like a little promo package with the both of them, and I seen the subtitles, so I'm assuming they spoke their native language for both of their promo sets.
Yeah, it was good.
Cool.
Yeah, just do that. Just do the pre-tape stuff with some subtitles every now and then. Not all the time. Like I hate
You can't do it
when-
on screen. That's the problem. Is fans are not going to sit there and not boo when they don't understand because wrestling fans are fucking dumb. But you can video
Duh.
package it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like live wrestling audiences, like I feel like they don't really boo that stuff anymore. Like they don't
And
do
even the
what?
Yeah.
But even
Like,
the
you know,
NXT
there are
crowd
small
did it
pockets
to
that
Giulia a month ago. When she was out there with Funaki talking, it was not good. Like it didn't
Yeah,
translate
that
well.
They didn't set her up for success on that. I don't know.
No.
I like the Asuka formula, right? We've talked about it before. Like nobody's ready for Asuka. Like get a cool catchphrase or something, say that, and that's fine. And just beat people up. You'll get over.
There's no fooling a Giulia.
That's what you want her catchphrase to be.
Of course.
There's
That's
no
not what you want.
fooling
You
a
got something
Giulia.
better? No fooling a Giulia?
What?
Can't fool her.
Well, that should be a hoot. And then we've got a couple more spin.
You
the wheel
don't want
matches.
to mess with me with Stephanie.
Don't mess with me with Stephanie.
Yeah, these are all good ideas. They're free.
Well, Tony D'Angelo is defending his NXT North American Championship for the first time, I believe, in a tables, ladders, and scares match.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, spooky.
Yes. This match must be won by pinfall.
Oh. So it's just a hardcore match.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
But they
they're
had to
only
climb
allowed
a
to use
ladder.
tables, ladders, and scares.
Scares.
Whatever that is.
It's like at any point, one of them can say boo, and the other one has to
Yeah.
jump.
Yep.
I guess that's fine.
So-
I don't. I have not. I thought Obafemi was really great, but I've been watching the show and I really fucking hate his character.
What do you
Like-
mean?
Well, the misogynist thing doesn't do it for me. And he's clearly being booked as a heel and the crowd won't accept it. So that
Because
irks
he's
me.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I said with AEW. Like, book the guys to what. Like, if the crowds are not going to cooperate, you need to figure out how to work around it. And this is one of those situations. It's
The-
presumed that he took out the family this week,
Mm-hmm.
so Tony's on his own. Maybe this is where you have the FBI show up. They have that ECW show coming up,
So,
in 2 weeks.
so I think I like Crucifino. Luke,
Okay.
Yeah, I like him. Him and Oba had the match this past Tuesday, and I think they worked pretty damn good together. And I think like Crucifino, if they were to get rid of Tony D'Angelo, like just the character, Crucifino could be Tony D'Angelo.
He definitely has a what is that vibe? Like a Ludwig Kaiser vibe, where it's like
Yeah.
There's a
He's
main
the
act
second-
here, but you know the
Yeah.
side act is like actually really good.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
I assume this is also gonna be one of those shows where like at this point, before we get to the main event, we'll be like, fuck, I wasn't expecting this show to be this good.
I hope so.
Because they do have a way of doing that with these NXT shows. They'll put on the dopiest shit on TV and then kill it on these pay-per-views.
I didn't love the last one. I don't know. I don't have super high expectations for most of these matches. I think the women's match, tag team match will be good. And possibly the main event. Everything else.
I bet Andre and Ridge over delivers. It's weird that Wesley didn't find his way onto this show. Like a lot of their main acts are not here.
Yeah, because Wesley's been kind of involved in the main event picture, but he's not in this match because the main event is Trick Williams defending the NXT Championship against Ethan Page in a Devil's Playground match. Is that just a hardcore match also? Like, what is that?
I think so. Yeah. If you click Devil's Playground match,
Yep.
it takes you to hardcore match on Wikipedia.
Great.
Ethan Page had a really great promo on NXT this week against Trick Williams about basically what you would expect. Being like, I've worked years and years and years to get here, and you didn't, and you're not taking that from me. It dragged on a bit, but the content was really solid. And I thought Trick Williams' rebuttals were just like kind of weak.
Yeah, because
A lot of it was like Ethan Page was spilling his heart out and saying cool shit, and Trick Williams was like, okay, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm like, there's got to be more than that here. But I would put the title back on Ethan Page, honestly, and do the fantasy booking that I put together earlier. But also,
well, besides
Trick Williams. Get that singles match on a pay-per-view that people have been clamoring for.
Besides that, like, I agree that they could easily change it here because, like, Ethan Page, when he won it the first time, it was, goofy. He got super kicked into a pin. So I think they want a definitive win here.
And then you could argue that CM Punk screwed him out of it last time, even though he didn't. Do we see CM Punk here? Because he did show up on Raw 2 weeks ago and be like, give me CM Punk.
I don't know.
No, Punk's not coming back till after the Saudi show.
I mean, if he's hanging out at NXT, he doesn't have to go to Saudi show.
Yeah. And then, all the women are on this card. So, you like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's a thing we can do a deep dive on someday.
I mean, he's
Chick
not
Magnet Punk.
Chick Magnet Punk for nothing. Yeah, exactly.
He's just Papa Punk. It's weird. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the show, but I'm not expecting it to be terrible. I'm more hyped about the ECW show at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that they're also selling this as a pay-per-view.
Yeah. And then I want to see the involvement of their newest acquisition, Delta. I can't pronounce her new name.
Zarya. It's like Daria, but with a Z.
It has a Z? I thought,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I saw. But yeah.
They debuted her on NXT this week, but they cut the feed for some people.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't see it.
Yeah, so that was a problem. But she seems cool. She's a big tough girl.
She's going to be their Jordan Grace in certain aspects. She's
Jordan Grace is going to be their Jordan Grace.
Well, no, I said in certain aspects. God damn it! It's just like she has the strong too. So
is she spooky?
She looks a little spooky.
Ugh, I hate spooky.
She's got a lot of paint going on.
You like the boogeyman?
It's because he's the only good spooky character ever. I used to say other than Undertaker and Kane, but after their recent antics, hard to.
Yeah, don't like that.
Hard.
I haven't seen a ton of people complaining about her name change, which is kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Delta's a stupid fucking name.
Yeah, but also like they can't call her
airplane.
that. Delta's a fucking airline. They're not. You can't market that in this company. So, anyway, What else we got? Anything? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the pod? Is that what people tuned in for?
I think so.
All right, good. Well, folks, we are back. We'll be back next week. We didn't get all of it this week or last week for that matter, but we will try again next week. So if you enjoyed the show, please write us a review. This helps like the algorithms and stuff. I don't know if you guys have tried hosting a podcast and growing it. It's really fucking hard. So write a review, hit that thing up in the Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to it, and let people know. Tell your friends, post about it, share a clip, whatever it takes. Tell people you like listening to a wrestling podcast that isn't hosted by The Undertaker, who likes to bring on the worst possible guests. Also, if you really liked us, subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/fatal4pod. There's tons of bonus content. The Didn't Get All of It Japan boys did put out recently a podcast on the Queen of Villains Netflix documentary. There's also the Vince McMahon documentary that we talked about. Noah and I talked about video games. I think there's a Spooky Boys podcast coming, B-Rob.
Yes. I just have to coordinate that with Noah.
I think that's coming this month. And there's also some stuff on the horizon that we are kind of excited about. So sign up for that. $3 gets you access to the Discord and ad-free episodes. $5 gets you the bonus shows and all of that as well. So head over to the patreon.com/fatal4pod. And otherwise, that's it. That's the end of the show.
Fuck yeah.